Hey yo, what is up everybody? This is the King Hitman here, and we are back with another Dokkan Battle video. We have, as you can see, the EZAs for essentially worldwide campaigns part 1, right? We have STR NAMEKU, who a lot of people wanted to EZA last year, STR Full Power Frieza, who's one of like the few units in the game, like he's supposed to be valuable, and I still don't care about him. I just don't like this guy. I always hated this unit. And then Tech Final Form Cooler, who let's be honest, I don't really know why they would do this. It's completely, it had no value. Like, it was incredibly, you'd have to make him one of the most unique units in the game. Like, best utility. Maybe he has guaranteed dodges against Goku. I don't know, man. To make him valuable, let's go through them bit by bit. However, Goku's leader skill is actually very, let's start off with the space form, of course. Super Saiyan's Ordinamic Saga category gets 3 key, stats 170%, which is a decent leader skill. It's not a bad leader skill. Like, I don't have issues with that, right? Super Saiyans is still a very good category. I know 200% is the way to go, but 170 is not like unrunnable, right? It's just that nowadays it's the bare minimum. Super attack raises attack and defense of all allies by 30% for 1 turn. Now, I think he would have been crazy if it did it for 2 turns, just because the defense would have been hella valuable. Like, let's say a unit like STR Cooler has, well, maybe I shouldn't say Cooler. Let's say Carnival Goku has like 258k defense, right? And then this guy does his super attack, and now that 258 turns into like 288, like that. I feel like even though it's minute, because this isn't calculated as a normal support buff, it's slightly weaker. It's fairly weaker actually. It's moderately weaker. I think it'd still be notable. Like, you'd feel like he's helping you out if it lasted 2 turns. And this guy is he wants to get hit, but I wouldn't exactly call him a slot 1 unit before he transforms. But let's get into it. So his passive skill, he gives himself 2 key attack and defense 150%. He has an extraordinary link set for a base form Goku, but I have noticed when he was like younger, right? I would often miss super attacks in his base form. I hated it. And then he gets attack and defense 30% with each attack received, up to 59%. When fully calced out, oh, they don't have it here. Not yet. Okay. Usually it'll be, a Dokkan Wiki will have it at the bottom of the screen to show you the exact percentages, but I don't know it. Now, transformation condition, 70% HP or less, starting from turn 3. Like I said, his link set is extraordinary. Z Fighters is the worst link by far, in my opinion. Own the family, Saiyan warrior race, Saiyan lineage, shocking speed, prepare for battle, fierce battle. And Z Fighters is not a bad link, it's just not common. But yeah, now once he's Super Saiyan Goku, which I hear certain players say like they don't consistently get his transformation. I get it all. Like, for the physical Super Saiyan 2 Goku, I get it all the time. For STR Vegito, like, I rarely don't get it. It's just that there will be windows where I can use his active skill and I don't. And then like later in the fight, it's like, okay, I'm ready to transform. And on that turn, I'll be at like 84% HP, right? That's what annoys me. But there are often multiple chances I get in long events to use that type of active skill or transformation. But this guy will just transform. Like, he won't, it's not an active skill, of course. He just does it as he wishes. Now, once he transforms, this is when I think he's getting a lot of flack. This Super Saiyan Goku's getting hella flack, and I really like this guy. He raises defense permanently, immense damage to the enemy, lowers attack and defense. Now in SBR, listen, I, I appreciate lowering attack and defense, but when you do it after like turn 3, 4, 5, it's like, come on, dog. What am I supposed to do with this, man? It doesn't do anything for me. Passive skill, 3 key attack and defense 180%, which is 3 key for a T-War, bro. I love it, man. I love it. Plus an additional defense 59% when HP is 77% or less. So that means the first turn you transform with him, he will have this. Like, that's actually of note to me. That very first turn you transform with him, he will have to have that ability. He doesn't have a choice. So that's good, But keep in mind, like, the first time you use him, he'll have like X amount of defense. He might not have anywhere near that defense that next turn if you heal up, right? Plus an additional 59% attack after getting hit, medium chance to guard all attacks, guard activated against all attacks, and high chance to perform a crit for 4 turns after guard is activated. Now, yeah, in a way that means it's a 30% chance to get all of this. What I think this guy's getting a lot of flack about is that people say it's inconsistent. I disagree. The reason I disagree is because one, when you get it for like multiple turns. Like you know the next time you see him, you're going to get it. For example, STR Ultimate Gohan is a unit. I've been using his EZA all over the red zone. Why? Because when you fight, this is why I say it's not inconsistent. It just depends on the event. If you're fighting an AGL enemy, first of all, let's get one thing straight. We're at a point in the game where you can't just walk into events like type disadvantage just because your unit is super strong anymore. Like the only best unit in the game that can do that are units that have guaranteed guard and elite defense, such as Father Son Gun, Goku, Vegeta and Trunks, or like the gods can't do it. The Super Saiyan 4s can't just run up on a unit type disadvantage. Like it doesn't work, right? So my point is when you're fighting a physical enemy in a difficult fight, I did this against Super 17. I would have SCR Ultimate Gohan get hit by the physical. He just is that Hellfighter? He's just Android 17, the one in the trench coat. He gets hit by him. He's a physical enemy that triggers Gohan's guard for the next 4 turns. But it would transition over to Super 17 because, of course, that fight doesn't last incredibly long, that first phase. So I'd have that buff. Noting for a fact I would have it against Super 17 is so incredibly OP the first couple turns. Now, yeah, after that, then you can say it's a gamble. But those first couple turns, if you were to be fighting an AGL super strong boss, like say Broly, in theory, if you get it, I'm just saying an AGL enemy, but in theory, if you trigger it, you'll know you'll have it for at least, the first 2 turns of an AGL boss, which it's a game shifter. It is a game shifter because he's stacking his defense, right? So you can compensate for those turns that the guard is up with defense for when it does, possibly not activate. But if he gets hit with a 1.3 million attack stat from the enemy, there's not many units in the game that are supposed to survive that. Like, you're not type disadvantage, of course. You're not supposed to be able to survive that if you're type dis. You're just not. So I feel like that's an unfair criticism of TURs. Maybe if you were competing for best unit in the game, I feel like that's fair. But not him, man. This guy is very good. I like him. I gotta see him in action, but he looks very good on paper, in my opinion. His rage mode, 5th turn, HP is 50% or less. It's an active skill. He now orb changes, so he greatly raises attack temporarily. That would have been dope if he just permanently raised attack on that, like permanently greatly raised attack, and it transitioned back to his normal state, sort of like what AGL Turles does. But AGL Turles is still a normal unit. To this day, AGL Turles is the only unit that transforms back, isn't he? Well, I mean, it's a good thing that he does. We don't want it to be permanent, but that's actually pretty interesting to think about. But yeah, he orb changes to make sure you can get his 12 key, which he's not going to hit incredibly hard. I do think they should have gave him guaranteed crits or like I don't know, type advantaged or I don't know. Oh, you know what would have been good? Guaranteed crits against an extreme class enemy. I feel like that's a fair trade, right? That would have been dope. Especially Namek Goku last year, like LR Namek Goku. He's more effective against super class enemies. I feel like that would have been very helpful. Now look at the plethora of team. I'm gonna count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's on 18 teams, bro. He's on 18 teams, dog. Crazy. Now, he is going to be good for the powerful comeback team because he is going to be able to link up with the LR Carnival Goku. So that's a good look right there. But let's get off of this guy. I'm going to get off his nuts, man. Let's just see him in action first. Let's transition over to Full Power Frieza. Full Power Frieza here is okay, let's just go through it. Let's go through it. Leader skill, 4 key, 150 to full power, and then the extreme STR buff. Cool, I guess. I mean, I like the extra key, but 150 is just not the moves anymore. Super attack, raises attack and defense for 1 turn. Mega Colossal, he still sacrifices 5% HP on its effect. 18 key, greatly raises attack and defense and causes Mega Colossal. Passive skill. Remember, both of his attacks, by the way, are Mega Colossal, so he does hit harder on his additionals. You kind of have no reason to not go additional with this guy, like, at all. Even though the 5% HP is a bit annoying, it's not scary. Like, don't overrate how dangerous it is. It's not that. You're rarely gonna die and be like, damn it, I died because of the 5%. Like, come on, man. So, I'm gonna get to why here in a moment. So 4 key attack and defense, 120%. He gets an additional 40% defense when super attacking, and he is super effective against all types if it is an 18 key super or more. So like straight up, you want to get him those 12 key super attacks, and you want to get him a like you want him to additional. You get what man, you get what I'm saying, right? So he gets another 2 key 40% attack when HP is 80% or less. He does it again if it's 60% or less, and he performs a critical hit when HP is 40% or less. He disables the enemy's actions once within that same turn when HP is 40% or less when attacking, but only once. I do feel like it wouldn't have hurt to make something like this like 2-3 times. I don't know. I mean, it's not OP. Like notification is not that powerful, right? Is it to y'all, is it that strong that they need to make most units only do it once? Like a lot of units in the game only can trigger it once per fight so far, and they're giving it out fairly commonly. It's not rare. But yeah, so this guy, he's not trash. Like he's not utter garbage. He's on a lot of teams. He's not a unit you're gonna be like, oh, I gotta go get this guy and make sure I use him on, my, I don't know, transformation boost, LR cooler team. Like I just say he's valuable. He's valuable. He has value, which he was one of the faster aging LRs. That point in LR history was very bizarre. They were dropping units that just were like inherently flawed. Like they were just weird. They were there. It's weird to criticize them, but if you played through that era in Dokkan, that's around when Yellow Coin LRs stopped being top 5 units in the game, like off rip. Like there was a point a Yellow Coin would come out. Well, the coins didn't exist back then, but like a banner LR would come out, an unfeatured LR, and they would just be in that high class of unit. Full Power Frieza was in that area where they were just weird. They were bizarrely built units. No, this guy, no one cares about his leader skill. Super attack raises attack and defense for 1 turn. Supreme damage, medium chance of stunning. 2 key, and which is actually really good in SBR. I don't want to underrate that. I do think stunning's becoming valuable again because Super Battle Road stages are becoming more difficult. Like some of these SBR stages, I'm seeing footage of them and they hit crazy hard. Like they're not soft anymore. So there's a thing you should keep note of, his chance to stun. Passive skill, Declaration of Omnipotence. That is hard. 2 key, attack and defense 150, launches a guaranteed additional 30% chance that it becomes a super attack. He has a great chance of critting when the target enemy is stunned. That should be a guaranteed crit. Like, you have to not only trigger the stun, but then you have to gamble again that it'll be a crit. I don't like that. I want to stun the int type enemy and then kill that int type enemy much faster than I typically would have, which would have been great for this cooler if you had like other stunning units that could, work them in tandem. But 70% chance is bizarre for something that's already a restriction, right? He gets an additional attack and defense 20% with each super attack performed up to 50%. He stuns the attacked enemy. It's guaranteed when the name includes Goku, of course. That's not, like Goku's a common enemy, but in Super Battle Roads, you don't always see Gokus, if that makes sense. But a lot of his stages will have Goku family enemies in there, or Goku named enemies in there. So you can definitely use it. Like, I'm trying to figure out a space where you would use him, but STR Cooler leading that team and having the same name as this guy, and I've been using STR Cooler lately, he has to be in slot 2, bro. Like, he just does. If you haven't built him up yet, which in SBR, you're not going to have time to build him up all day. Like, I just beat Wicked Bloodline Extreme SBR with 1 item. I used 1 King Yima, and I had a lot of fun with that stage. But Cooler had to be in slot 2. You can't put Cooler in slot. I put Cooler in slot 1 time, and he was taking 100k. Like he was taking, and then he took like 170 from AGL Napa. It was tough, man. And I survived, but it was just tough. Now, link set, strongest clan in space, thirst for conquest, a lot of good. He has great links right here. So he has very good links right here. Categories, he's on more than 2 handfuls of them, so I don't want to underrate that either. But yeah, a 145% 12 key multiplier. I would have thought he had a 140. That's also very good. Don't overlook that. I just what am I gonna use him at? I mean, he's not on any category that the STR cooler is not gonna be on. So there's no reason for you to ever take this guy. That's why I said, let's say instead of this stun, he had a guaranteed dodge against a Goku named enemy, or he had a guaranteed guard against like Pure Saiyan and Hybrid Saiyans, or I can't even make him a support unit because I still don't think that would fix his inherent problem. But maybe if when maybe they haven't done this in a while. But let's say he's in slot 3. No, that wouldn't make sense because it would trigger in the middle of a turn, so that wouldn't help you either. Oh man, I don't know what you could have done to save this guy. They should have saved his EZA for at least a year or so from now, like more than a year from now. But whatever, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's a long recording. I haven't recorded a video like this in a while, so I guess I kind of went overboard, right? Hope you guys enjoyed me speaking my thoughts. I appreciate your time so much. It's the kid. Hitman is off this.